This is Mike Fitzgerald, designer of Baseball Highlights 2045. Ralph and I are going to play for you a mini game. We are going to start a match right from the beginning and show you how the very first game plays in a match of Baseball Highlights 2045. So we each have our starting team deck. These are the 15 cards. There are 4 of them in the base set, enough for 4 players, and we're each going to draw the top 6 cards from the deck of our starting team. And from that, we're going to go through the steps of a game. The first thing we're going to do is decide if we want to put a card on deck or not. If you decide to, you can put one of your cards on deck. You'll notice most players will do this. And then it's possible to get to that card by a couple different ways. I'm just trying to decide. Yes, I'm going to put that card there. And you draw a card to replace the card you put on deck because you always have 6 cards at the start of the game. Now in this game, we've got Ralph being the visiting team and I'm the home team. And Ralph, you get to play the first card.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with a single. I've got nothing in my special action, immediate action box. The first thing I do is play the card. Then we'd resolve that. There's nothing to do. He has nothing on base. So we go right to putting up my threatened hit, which will be an average base runner on home plate, threatening to get a single. So off to you.
Yeah, a typical way to start a game with that. I'm going to do something similar and play a rookie robot that threatens 2 singles. So the first thing that happens, because I have nothing in the immediate action box, Ralph gets a single. Then I'm going to be threatening my 2 singles. So I have 2 slow runners waiting to get on base, and it's back to Ralph.
Okay, so looking at what I've got here, I'm not too concerned about 2 slow base runners, so I'm going to play this card, a robot, a very similar robot to the one you just played, 2 singles. So I'm threatening, well, before I put mine on, we go over to Mike and resolve his hits. So he has a single, followed by another single, puts him in on first and second. Then I now threaten 2 singles myself. Back to Mike.
Okay, now I am going to play a cyborg who says pick off any one runner. So that means a base runner already on base, I can just pick him off. Ralph has this guy on first base who now is off the bases. I have no threat in my hitbox, so there's nothing problem there. Ralph does get his 2 singles since that action of mine only affected his base runner. So he's got first and second now. Nothing that I'm threatening for him to worry about, and it's his play.
Okay, this is early action, so I'm going to take a run when I can get it. So I have a play. I'm playing my card, and immediate action is a clutch single if runner on second or third. I do have a runner on second, so what's going to happen is I get an average single, slow runner, and that's going to go, and because he's on second or third on a clutch, he automatically scores, so I have 1 run. Even though he's a slow runner, because of the special clutch action, I do score him. And Mike had no hits coming, so nothing happens on his. And now I'm also threatening a single.
Oh boy, Ralph's got the early lead, and now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to play this card that in the immediate action gives me a double play, which removes both of Ralph's base runners. He didn't like that. And now his action box, his hit box resolves, so he gets his single, and I threaten a single, which for me, by the way, would only load the bases. I always do this. I try to make the other player feel better about letting me have the hit. I don't really score a run yet if you let this happen, Ralph. I just get the bases loaded. But it is Ralph's play.
Yeah. Now, I'm looking, and I see that his type of player is a natural. And it just so happens I've got a guy that I'm going to play, and my immediate action is fastball, K a natural. So that's going to cancel his hit there. Sorry, I got exuberant. And now I've got nothing else happening, and he has nothing else happening, so it's back to Mike.
Yes, it is. This time, I'm going to play a robot and threaten 2 singles. Nothing for Ralph to do. As soon as I play this, normally his hitbox would resolve, but there's nothing over there at the moment, and that he's threatening. So I get these 2 singles as my threat, and now I am threatening to score 1 run and end up with the bases loaded. So we'll see what Ralph does. He is still ahead, 1-0.
Well, I'm going to postpone the problem just for a moment. I'm going to play a card that immediate action is pick off 1 runner. So I'm going to pick off that lead runner, but I don't have anything else that happens, so immediately resolve Mike's hits. So he gets 2 singles. They're slow, so he doesn't get any score from second. he just gets the bases loaded, which could be a problem for me. But I've got no threatened hits. I've got the lead right now. Let's see if I can hold on to it.
Okay, I'm going to play a veteran that threatens to hit a grand slam home run.
Uh-oh. Okay, I've got a couple of options here. I have a nice card that would turn that home run into a walk, so that would keep it to just 1 run scored, which would tie the game. My other choice is to pitch hit for either this gentleman down here or for my top deck here. So let me check and see what options I have. My on deck is a home run, which would give me 2 runs, but that would let his home run happen and he would get 4 runs.
Let me point out it only gives him 2 runs if it ends up succeeding.
Well, I'm optimistic.
Yes.
Or I could top deck, and that's going to be my choice because I could change that walk and make it a tie game, but he's still got another card to play. So I'm going to discard that card so I can pitch hit. I'm choosing not to use that. I'm going off the top of my deck for something wonderful, and I got a single. Well, first of all, his home run is going to happen. Immediate action, nothing happens.
So all 4 runs will score.
I'm going to probably regret this. 4. Now I've got a single and a double threatened. That's not going to make enough runs for me, but let's see what his last card play is.
And my play is to threaten double. His single double happens. I have nothing in the immediate action
So the
box.
single goes like that. Then the double, well, I should work from the front. That one will score. This one will go 2 places, and then I end up with a guy on first, so I got up to 2 runs.
And my double is being threatened. Now, if Ralph has a PH in the deck, which he does, he can access this card or the top of the deck to try to change this double. Now, the score right now is 4-2, so if he does that, he's not going to change the outcome of the game, but I just want to point out that that's an option. And he can end up discarding the on-deck card, as I can if I have a PH in my stack after the game's over.
But since it has a home run, I'm going to save that for next game. That'll be the first card I draw, so I've lost this one mini game.
So I get a double. The final score is 4-2. And again, these were the very first starter decks. This is like in a deck builder when you start with basically nothing, and yet we had a pretty good 4-2 game. You saw a lot of stuff happen, including a grand slam home run. And right away, we pick up this stack of 6 cards. We add up the revenue on each card in the green number. 3, 4.
I've got 9.
6, 7. Wait a minute now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've only got 8. Okay, but having the 8 means I can have the first choice of players or make him take the first choice. And there are some really nice players here that I like to start developing a team, including my personal favorite. We have Speedbot here, who costs 6. So I'm going to take Speedbot. He goes right on top of my deck for the next game. A replacement comes out. Now, these cards range in cost of 4 to 10, so even though I have 2 left over, that's going to get wasted because I just don't have another player that I can buy. Now it's Ralph's turn to buy with his 9.
And don't forget to send a card down to the minors.
Oh, that's right. You know, I keep forgetting that. So I have to send one of these cards to the minor leagues
and
out of the game. I'll take that pick-off pitcher out and put him in the minor leagues.
I've got 9, so I'm looking at these 2 gentlemen. Now, what he got just now was a robot, and I know he's going to be in the next game. So, you know, this guy, Gary Marshall, he doesn't give me any income, but he does get rid of robots and make a lot of hits. So I've got kind of a dilemma here whether I want to do that or with my 9, whether I might want to get a 5 and a 4. Now, this guy is the best income in the game, so I'm going to choose to go this route. So I'm going to choose Derek Belanger, and then as soon as I choose that, I get another card that comes up. Unfortunately, the only other card I can pick is this one, but he's got good income. He's a good robot. I'm going to take the 2 cards with my 9 income. We put another card up. Those go on top of my deck. And now, because we have to maintain the 15-card roster, I have to get rid of 2 of my cards. So looking through them, I'm going to get rid of that rookie, even though he has 2 singles. I picked up some guys that are better than that. So he's going to go to the minor leagues. And also this other one. I'm going to go for some money ball here. So this goes down there. And now we're ready to draw 6 cards and start the second mini game.
And that's a look at how you play a mini game in Baseball Highlights 2045.